Okay, so I see some new names and faces here. Welcome. Um, quick reminders to what we're doing here. So, in in the course of our personal growth and certainly CIT clinics and my role there, working with mostly humans that are struggling with depression, anxiety, PTSD. Right. Most of us have some inkling or some idea of what we would like our life to be like, meaning what our day to day would actually feel like in our body and in our mind. And I can sort of encapsulate that just with the word positivity. Most of us want some sense of positivity, and I've found that over the years, working with literally thousands of patients at this point, oftentimes I notice that we don't put the actual effort or time into cultivating or practicing the things that are going to create that kind of positivity. So things like mindfulness, attention training. Today's Thursday, so we're going to do gratitude. And again, the idea here is the more we practice these skills and activate those parts of our nervous system that give us that subjective experience, the easier it becomes to experience that. So the whole point of this group, if you're new to this, is we get together once a day just for 15 minutes from noon to 12:15. It's free. You can invite your friends, you can invite your spouses, anyone that you think would benefit from this. And we just, on a regular basis, practice some of these positivity skills. And there's always a slightly different theme um, to to all of it. So today's theme is gratitude, and I'll start this off with a poem by David White. Your great mistake is to act the drama as if you were alone, as if life were a progressive and cunning crime with no witness to the tiny hidden transgressions. To feel abandoned is to deny the intimacy of your surroundings. Surely even you at times have felt the grand array, the swelling presence, and the chorus crowding out your solo voice. Put down the weight of your aloneness and ease into the conversation. All the birds and creatures of the world are unutterably themselves. Everything is waiting for you. And the reason I like this is there's the word mistake in that first sentence. And so I'd like to use this idea of gratitude for mistakes that we make. Um, I know when I make mistakes, and by the way, the definition of mistakes, when I was looking it up, it had to do with so this difference between my perception of what should happen and some kind of objective truth, as if that was even a thing. Meaning instead of getting to some place at the time that I did, I made the mistake and I was late, or I made the mistake of opening my mouth and saying words that in hindsight I thought I shouldn't have. And really all of this has to do ultimately with our perception of what it means to do something wrong. And so the idea today is to explore a little bit what happens to us when we quote unquote make mistakes, and how can we maybe change our disposition towards that. So let's try it out. Start by closing your eyes, putting my feet flat on the ground just to feel the ground beneath my feet. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit, enhancing the sensation of contact with the ground. And noticing what it's like to feel the sensation of your feet flat on the ground right here, right now. And noticing how the soles of your feet are connected to your ankles, moving all the way up to your knees, up to your pelvis. And just noticing your whole lower body in contact with the ground through your feet. And then slowly moving on up through your belly, your lower back, past the diaphragm and your chest and shoulders. Let's pause there. And notice the connection between your upper torso all the way through your legs down to your feet to the ground. And then adding in your neck and your head. There's your body, or there's the body, right here, right now, contact with the ground. This experience is happening now. It's not a memory. It's not something that's happening in the future, actually happening right now. Noticing the body breathing, not trying to change anything, just noticing. Now let's take in a couple breaths together. So deep inhale through the nose, long exhale. A deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then just letting the body breathe on its own. And now bring to mind a memory of a time when you made a mistake. Ideally, not the biggest mistake of your life, but something with enough energy behind it where you felt this sense of maybe sadness or upset, an inner critic. And see if you can amplify this memory. So really noticing, where were you? What was the weather? What time of day was it? Who were you with? And then drop into the underlying statement of what was the mistake? Like, what happened? And what did you think was supposed to happen instead? And noticing the language that the mind is using to describe this difference. So I should have or shouldn't have. What was supposed to happen, or whatever language comes up for you. Just notice that. And then noticing if the pain or the struggle or the discomfort that comes up with noticing this quote unquote mistake, how much of that has to do with what actually happened versus what you thought should have happened but didn't. I wasn't on time. I didn't keep my mouth shut. I said something I regret. Right? Notice, is it the actual reality of what happened, or is it that that is different than what you thought should have happened? And just noticing sensations in your body as you're reflecting on this, especially the belly and the chest, the hands. Now, if possible, we're going to sort of flip the script on our mind's usual tendency to label this a mistake. After all, the way we learn, the way we gain knowledge and experience to get better at certain behaviors or activities, it's inherent that we have to make mistakes. We have to try certain things that we haven't tried before that then don't work out the way we thought they should. If you play a musical instrument, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you work out, you'll know what I'm talking about, or have a yoga practice, mindfulness practice. And so see if we can shift the attitude or the relationship to this mistake and see if there's an inkling of gratitude for making that mistake. Because it's a doorway into wisdom and grace and deeper knowledge. What is it about making that mistake that allows you to learn something new? What have you learned by making that mistake? Of course, I think there's some kind of inherent commitment in that attitude where we say, well, I made that mistake. It's teaching me something. And so the intention is to maybe not make that mistake again moving forward. Good friend of mine has this saying where he says, only new mistakes. And I think it really encapsulates this notion of mistakes as opportunities for learning. And can you find the gratitude for the mistake that you made in this memory that you're exploring? What is it that you're grateful for about having made that mistake? And then go ahead and take a deep breath in. Long exhale slowly. And hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale. Long exhale. All right, again, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just let your body breathe on its own. Go ahead and open your eyes. Come on back to the session. And yeah, hope that was a helpful take on a theme that all of us probably experience fairly frequently, which is I screwed up, I made a mistake. And maybe instead of it being fuel for negativity, we can turn it around and say, well, wait a second, I learned something really important there, or it was a really important reminder of something that is valuable to me that I want to really pay attention to. So hope that was useful. Hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a good day, everyone. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anyone wants to connect.